Your research indicates that there's more to fingerprints than just lines and swirls. What kind of information can we get from a single fingerprint?
Essentially, what a fingerprint is the sexy version of sweat. And sweat is a biological matrix, so there's loads of molecules there. Because these molecules are sitting there, you can detect them and they can tell us a story about you. And so we've been able to, with the technology that we've developed, to detect these molecules and then gather information about a certain person. So your sweat profile actually changes during the day. It changes with your metabolism. It changes with physical exercise. It changes if you are anxious or scared or, preoccupied about something. But what is interesting is maybe not the overall composition of your sweat profile, but what can be found at a particular time when you take that fingerprint and analyze it. And there are some molecules that we say they are persistent. They can still be detected after a long time.
Wow, that is fascinating. So the fingerprint is not just a series of swirls and grooves, but it's really like a chemical capsule of stuff inside your body. What technology are you harnessing here?
So the technology isn't new. It's been around since the 80s, and it's got a very long name. It's matrix-assisted laser desorption ionization mass spectrometry, or MALDI in short. And with this technology, you can detect molecules and you can also visualize the molecules. And by using a laser and firing this laser, which is a UV laser for simplicity, and you fire at the surface of the item where the molecules are sitting. And what happens when the laser fires on these molecules is that the molecules come out at that surface. So we say that they desorb. We also charge these molecules, so it's a different version of a molecule. We call it an ion. But it basically is a molecule with a charge. And what is interesting here is that by measuring how much this molecule weighs, we can actually link the molecular weight or the mass or the weight to the identity of that molecule. So we can say what that molecule is.
Can you give us an example of how this technology has advanced forensic research thus far?
If you imagine a scenario of a rape or a sexual assault where the assailant wears a condom, the simple action of handling a condom would contaminate the fingertips of the offender with the polymers, the lubricant and the polymers that are contained there. And so if then the offender touches a surface, it will leave a fingerprint. But not only that, it will leave a fingerprint made in this condom lubricant. And so what we've been able to say is that this particular fingerprint contains this particular polymer, which belongs to this particular condom brand. And I can also show that this polymer is distributed very well all around the fingerprint, so much so that I can see a new type of image of a fingerprint, which is a molecular image of the fingerprint through the polymer they've just detected. So if the offender thinks that by wearing a condom he can escape justice because there's no DNA left behind, well, that fingerprint kind of nails him down, because I can provide the biometric information plus the circumstances of the crime, linking him to the actual crime.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you also talk to me about this kind of overlapping fingerprint phenomenon?
So here's the thing. If you imagine a scenario of two people touching a surface in a way that eventually the two fingerprints are overlapping, well, what we can do is, if you imagine that each fingerprint is made by thousands of molecules, do you not think it's likely that at least one molecule is only present in your finger mark, and so is unique to your finger mark, and then I have at least another molecule that is unique to my fingerprint, right? So then what the technology can do is visualize those unique molecules one at a time. Yours first, and that means that only your finger mark shows up in our software, then mine, and then my finger mark shows up only in our software. And in essence, you have separated the two patterns. because those molecules will be uniquely present in one or the others. We tried this with 6 fingerprints, and you can see that you can separate all 6 fingerprints. So the likelihood that there is at least one molecule that is unique to yours allow us to separate these rich patterns.
Terrific. So how are you hoping then that this technology develops?
So I'm now at a stage where this technology has been integrated into the finger mark visualization manual, which is edited by your office and now the Defense and Science and Technology Laboratory. And that is the Bible that tells CSI and crime scene operational managers how to deal with fingerprint evidence. Now, the legislation system is obviously different in every country that you look at. So to generalize and say how this can be transferred to US or to the rest of Europe, it's going to be quite difficult. It has to be looked at individually. Even handling the evidence is different in each country. But of course, I am working on a global scale as well. I do have international partners. And so although this is a long, slow journey, it's one that will happen in the end. And my hope is that this technology will be used in major crimes